In this video, we're gonna compare 3 video editors: Vegas Pro, Premiere Pro, and Davinci Resolve. The only one doesn't have Pro in the name. Comparing these 3 videos, things I like most of each one and things I hate about each one. Found a way of transferring some of the good things of one video editor to the others, and I'm sharing my experience in here. I'm using Davinci Resolve, so it kind of ruins all this review. I think it's the best at the moment for the best price. I'm gonna go through each video editor and talk about the things I like and dislike on each one, my experience using all of them, the good things and the bad things about each one. Well, let's go through them. So first we got Vegas. Vegas opens very quickly, but it's just a video editor. If you want to do graphic design or other things more complex, it's definitely not the program for you. I'm just gonna drop some media. It's really easy to drop the media in here. It's not problematic. Size everything. There's a lot of things you can do. I do like the sound graphic, and the thing I like in the silence is really minimal. Now, good things. It's very simple to work. Making cuts. It's very straightforward. To eliminate anything is very straightforward, just select and eliminate. To zoom in and zoom out, this is one of the things I love the most about Vegas. You scroll down your wheel, it makes your timeline small. You scroll up your wheel, you can see all the detail, and you can do this anywhere, anytime, in your timeline. I love this characteristic. The other thing I love, let me just do some cuts here. Some cuts. For example, you want to move this, it moves everything at the same time. Of course, you got the options in here: automatic ripple, automatic crossfade, and enable snapping. You can deselect and will move things independently without any issues. Not going through a lot of other characteristics. I kind of love this. When you overlap, it just does the crossfade automatically. Now, cons. Problems with Vegas Pro. Somebody says this program crashes a lot. That'd be nice. It just crashes a lot and a lot. When you start having to have too many cuts, this program will lag and drag and lag. I think it's some problem where the coders use a lot of CPU, and I read that the article use 6 times more overwork in the CPU. I got an Intel 7 11th generation K. It's not overclocked, but powerful CPU. Sometimes I have to put this draft to a quarter. It's horrible. And when you're scrolling on your timeline, it just lags. If you try to speed up the sound, it gets like a high pitch. It's not perceptible. So if you put 2 times speed while you're trying to scroll from some video, it just doesn't work. It's horrible. You cannot understand anything, and it's so high pitch, and it's not possible to use even. And then about the crashes, you're gonna see loads of articles. How to disable one of your cores of your CPU. Do this, do that. There's in loads of video how to do this. Why? Just give up. It doesn't work. Fix it. Why you make people disable things and go in the settings? And no, it's not their fault. It's your program that sucks. It doesn't work. And then I started using this in the 14 version. At the moment, I'm showing you the 19. Between the 14 and the 19, not a big difference. You could do a tutorial about the 14 and still be like really updated. Things is the visuals and mostly the nested lines that make the program crash all the time too. Go and figure out. At some point, it wouldn't accept MP3 files. You have to convert everything to WAV. I see people, just convert it to WAV. Why? More steps. Takes more time. Don't invest your money on this. Anyway, you do one-time payment and then they'll just spam you like upgrade for the next version, upgrade for the next version for a simple fee. Please don't use this program. I know I love this dragging and I love the scroll wheel to do zoom in and zoom out. Find out those things can be transferable to other programs. Very bad product. Don't spend your money on it, except if you have a very specific reason to use this. And I know people that choose it, they will use it, but please, it's still a bad program. Sorry. Now we're going to the next program, Adobe Premiere Pro, paid version. Oh god, do a test video. Let's go to the editing page. Okay, Premiere Pro. We just drop some media in here. I just want to make these things bigger so I can see them. I did adopt some shortcuts and things from the other program, but that's not the point. So a lot of new features, captation and graphics. You got everything in here. You got captations. It will just transcribe everything you're saying. Still a bit buggy, but I don't speak perfect English, so cannot say much. They always have new features and have a good integration with other products like Photoshop. It's very easy to do audio in this. You don't need to know anything about equalizers or compressors. Just come here and you select the clip. It's a dialogue, and you just scroll these things, and it's done. Reverb if you want, repair, reduce noise, how much you want. You don't have to spend too much time in here, and it's really easy to use. Even for color, if you come here, use lumetri, and you can change your exposure very easily, contrast, highlights, shadows, black. It's very simplified to use. I like it about this. If you want to do a voice cover, you just press here and you activate this timeline and do voice cover all in one space, mostly, even the color grades and everything. There's a lot of new features all the time, a big community, lots of tutorials. It's very easy to find a good amount of presets that you can find for free. Advice on hardware, they advise you to have a CPU with 8 cores minimal. They are not as dependent on the GPU, but I noticed they use it a lot too. Mine is not that strong, but it does alright. Cons with it: when you start having a lot of cuts, or sometimes just randomly, it just crashes. You open the program, you do 2 or 3 things and it crashes, and there's no reason. One thing I think they should do, instead of putting so much new features, they should improve the stability of the program first, and then just do an update to improve stability. You got this new feature and everything crashes all the time. So people are using this for professional work. It's not that great for them, because and then the media, it looks so, I don't know, for example, this is a silence, but why is so fake? The line it should be almost invisible. The graphic doesn't look good. For me, I use a lot of the sound waves to make my editing. I don't like it. It looks minimalistic. And this little line, but this blue line, the cursor, and then these bugs. What's with these lines that appear? This is the paid version. Guys, why is so buggy in there? Why is all these artifacts appearing in here? Why all these things? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Sliders are horrible, and the visualization experience is not great. It doesn't make any sense. Other issue, the cost. So in UK, if you want to have all the package with all the programs, is £90 a month, and they've been raising the price. It's a lot of money. It's a lot in a year. It's a lot of money. And then they have a special package, £238. Like, it's a very good price. No, it's not £238 in a year. Like, it's a lot of money for a program that I know brings a lot of new features and all those things. If you use it in a professional way, guys, stability is very important. You cannot use your program properly. What's the point? Anyway, let's close this. Let's go to the next one. My favorite, bit biased, but close this. Open Davinci Resolve Studio version 17. Things. It takes a bit longer than the others to open, because you open all the programs in one go. Not like Premiere. If you want to do encoding, you have to go to the page encoder. If you want to do effects, you go to After Effects. It makes everything a bit slower, and here everything is in the program inside. Open, integrated, and bring some media inside. Fit it to the others. Okay, change. Okay, here's a media page. I use it to see my frames in here and resolution. I got the cut page. I don't use it personally. It's similar to other program. I use a lot of my cut page. I do change things around here a bit. And look at this cursor, very thick. The sound waves are very comprehensive. Not talking, see one tiny line. This talking, it's very well defined. I can identify each word that I say in here very easily. I think I cannot do in Premiere Pro. I don't understand why. And another thing that I love, you can stream your timeline, even if it's a 4K one. Look at this. I speed it double speed, and I can understand what I'm saying still. It doesn't do like Vegas that just deforms everything. I don't understand why. Doing the cuts, I got my own shortcuts again, but it just makes it easy. It's really that easy. Ripple select, whatever. Still raises the events, but I found a way to correct that. There is a large community and it's growing because people are seeing the advantage of using this for editing. Really stable. It doesn't crash. Probably crash, 2 times with me? 3 times, mostly because I'm using a GPU with only 2 gigs of VRAM, and that's not the advice. That's like the minimal that they advise you, like the minimal, and they say you cannot use certain effects, you're gonna have problems. Anyway, you can use the free version of this. There is a few limitations, it doesn't use your GPU. You can only do 10-minute films, I think, and some effects are not available. But even using the free version, you can understand like the big difference. You only pay once for this. They pay £290 £290, with tax, and it's pay for life. You don't have to pay monthly and you receive all the updates. Like cons is like you do need like a powerful GPU for this, at least with a 6, not powerful, but with a lot of VRAM and gigs. So I got a 2 gig card. That's like the minimum. You can do cuts, but when you apply effects, it kind of crashes. 4 gigs minimum for 1080. And 6 gigs for 4K. In case I'm gonna upgrade in the future, it's just the GPUs are so expensive at the moment, I couldn't do it. The free version does crash a lot because it doesn't use the GPU, so you got some problems. Another things I don't like, for example, if I want to do a voice cover, I have to go to the Fairlight page. That's where you do all the sound effects and everything. And then you have to, I normally add the mono track in this case. And then you have to do your input. That it looks a bit strange because like microphone 1 and audio 2, and then you have to patch it. I don't think it's very easy to do. This makes it very complicated, not very friendly. Then if you want to take a still, you come to the color page. For example, if you want to sync clips, you need to go to the cut page and sync them. Well, this case is advantage. If you want to do any effects, you come, this is that page. I think this node system is easy to understand than Premiere After Effects. You can see how things connect. Still complicated, but I think it's easy to understand. Any other things that I don't like is to install some presets. Now it's some harder because they changed the way the file system. Apparently, I tried to install a few and I couldn't make it work. It's not quite straightforward, like a loss for me. Any new updates of the program, you need to download the 2 gigs every time. So that another thing, when you're using the program, creates like proxim files and rendering, and those ones can consume a lot of memory. Of course, there is ways to go around that, but 29 gigs of filming can become 100 or 130 on the project. That looks a bit not very balanced. People always mocking you need like a spaceship to use this program because they have their own keyboards and things. Of course, you can change your keyboard to do most of the functions, and doesn't make any sense. I found a way of doing the zoom in and zoom out on the timeline. As you see, they got this thing in here and you can use these options, but I prefer to use my mouse and scroll the wheel. I use this program, X-Mouth button controls. So basically 8 to zoom in, 9 to zoom out. I change my keys, and then in here I say when I press up, that's 8, press down 9, then tilt right and tilt left, and I got tilt, for example, scroll, Ctrl Z to go back and Ctrl Shift Z to go forward, no, back and forward. Well, it doesn't really matter. For example, if I do a cut and I regret, I just do this again. I can stop it, I can eliminate and go back. It makes it really easy just using my mouse. Anyway, in conclusion, I'm able to produce more videos with Davinci. Really easy to see all the footage that I have from previous that would take me ages in Vegas because it was constantly crashing. I even had like a key that I defined to save all the time, and I was always pressing it all the time not to lose any work. And same in Premiere. I do this mostly on the rendering in here because I only have my 2 gigs GPU. It's rendering or exporting. There's a few issues with that, and because my card is very low power. I can produce more videos. It's a very stable program. It doesn't have Pro in the name, but I think it's the only program that really deserves the Pro in the name. Strangely, Pro in the name doesn't define the program, but this program is a Pro program. I hope you liked the video, you learned something, and look, it's running images in 4K without any issues. If I did this in both of the other programs, it would just stutter all the time. No drop frames, no anything.